Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad-pada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badharayanam Sutrabhashya Kritav Vande Bhagavantav Punah Punah Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Graditam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadyayiniim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Devyai Stavaihi Vedai Sangapadakrammo Panishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navidusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Hari Bhagavan Sri Krishna is presenting all the arguments as to why Arjuna should fight the war. And he is presenting these arguments from three different standpoints: philosophical standpoint, ethical standpoint, and very pragmatic worldly standpoint. We saw the philosophical points in detail in verses 12 through 30. And in the last class, we started the ethical arguments. Swadharmamapi chavekshya navikampitum dharmyadhi yuddhat shreyonyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. You should not waver from your duty, because there is nothing higher for a Kshatriya than to fight a righteous war. Dharma Yuddham, a Kshatriya has to fight. And if you do, you have Yadruchaya Chopapannam Swargadwaram Apavritam Sukhinas Kshatriya Partha Labante Yuddham Idrusham. This is a rare opportunity. Happy indeed or Kshatriyas who are called upon to fight a Dharma Yuddha. This is an open gateway to heaven. On the other hand, atachetvam imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tataswadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsyasi. If you do not fight this righteous war, having abandoned your duty and fame, you will incur sin. The ethical arguments were concluded in verse 33 and then began the very practical worldly arguments. Akirtim chapi bhutani katayishyanti te abhyayam sambhavitasya cha akirtihi maranat atirichyate. If you run away from this, people will keep talking about your dishonor. And anyone who has been honored like you, such dishonor is worse than death. Moreover, bhayat ranat uparatam mamsyante tvam maharatah yesham cha tvam bahumatah bhutva yasyasi lagavam. The great warriors will think Arjuna had withdrawn from the battle due to fear. He will be ridiculed by people. Those who have held you in high esteem for your heroism, that's what they thought about you in the past. Now that will be reversed. And now he continues these worldly arguments. Let us see verse 36. Avacyavadamscha bahun. Avacyavadamscha bahun. Padishyanti tavahitah. Padishyanti tavahitah. Nindantastava samartyam. Nindantastava samartyam. Tato dukkataram nukim. Tato dukkataram nukim. Avacyavadamscha bahun. Vadishyanti tavahitah. Nindantastava samartyam. Tato dukkataram nukim. So Bhagavan expands the same idea further just to prick Arjuna. Somehow or the other, he should make Arjuna fight this war. So he causes pain in Arjuna's mind by using very strong words. Tava ahitaha, your enemies are not interested in your welfare. They are arch rivals. Kauravas vadishyanti, they will say, avachyavadam. They will say unspeakable words. They will spread rumors about you. They will use such filthy language that it is difficult for me to even utter those words. Bahun, many. Bahun, Bahu itself means many. Bahun, plural number, many. We have to translate, although the word many is not an English language usage, but it conveys, many unmentionable things. Padishyanti, they will say. They also have the advantage because they are in power. They are the rulers of the kingdom. Right now, you're a non-entity. You've been away in the forest and in hiding for 13 years. Duryodhana has consolidated his powers during this time. He has control over people and everything. They can spread any rumors that they want. And they will, Tava Samarthyam Nindantah. They will criticize. They will belittle your Samarthyam, your capability, your ability, proficiency, your skill on the battlefield, your skill. And they will make fun of it. What is Tataha Dukkataram Nukim? What is more painful than such dishonor? This argument you will find given in the scriptures very often. Even in Ramayana, Kaikeyi used this honor-dishonor argument to manipulate Dasharatha to send Rama to the forest. She said, you have to keep your promise. All your forefathers have kept their words, and so should you. The entire dynasty is known for such exemplary behavior. How can you tout that now? You eat your own words now, and you will bring such a disgrace to all of them. Do you want to sacrifice such a good name? So those arguments go this way. Ego is very powerful for a Kshatriya. So Bhagavan uses this weakness to goad Arjuna to fight the war. What is more painful than dishonor? Hato va prapsyase swargam. Hato va prapsyase swargam. Jitva va bhokshase mahim. Jitva va bhokshase mahim. Tasmad uttishta kaunteya. Tasmad uttishta kaunteya. Yuddhaya krita nischaya. Yuddhaya krita nischaya. Hato va prapsyase swargam. Jitva va bhokshase mahim. Tasmad uttishta kaunteya. Yuddhaya krita nischaya. So he says, Hato va prapsasi swargam. Hato va prapsasi swargam. Arjuna, if you do not want ill fame, and if you do not want naraka, you better fight this battle. Hataha san swargam prapsasi. If you are killed in this battle, you will certainly get Veera Swarga. Soldiers who fight in the battle, they go to heaven. So it will be a gain either way. Suppose you do not die, but win this war. Of course, Jitwa, if you win, Bhokshase Mahim, you will get back the kingdom. That kingdom you were craving for the last 13 years. You were waiting and waiting. You endured all kinds of suffering in the forest. Prior to that, you had enjoyed the comforts of living in the palace. And then you had to go and live in the forest for so many years. You've been waiting so long to get back the kingdom. If you win, you will get it back. Else, Atakasan, in case you get killed, you'll go to heaven. Either way, you will only gain. If you choose to fight this war, this is a win-win situation. So, Arjuna, what should your decision be? So he says, Tasmat Uttishta Kaunteya, O Arjuna, Uttishta, get up. You remember at the end of the first chapter, Arjuna dropped his weapons and was sitting, totally overwhelmed by grief and sorrow. That was the picture at the end of the first chapter. So Bhagavan says, you first get up. Now don't you get up and run away. So he immediately adds, Yuddhaya krita nishchaya. Nishchaya, determined. Yuddhaya krita, to fight this war. Determined to fight this war, get up. Having decided to fight, having taken a resolve to fight this battle, hey Arjuna, you get up now. So with this, the third level of argument is also over. As I said, the three levels, the philosophical level, the ethical standpoint, and then the worldly viewpoint. Philosophically speaking, you have to fight. Ethically speaking, you have to fight. And from this worldly angle also, you should fight. To save your honor, you have to fight. Arjuna, you fight this war. After presenting all the arguments as to why he should fight the war, Bhagavan now gives this advice to Arjuna on how to fight the war. First, the decision is to fight, and then the implementation part of it. How to fight this? Now, you see, we all have duties, and we can broadly put those duties into two types. One type is the pleasant duty. Other is often unpleasant duty. How to handle a pleasant duty? Everybody knows. You're happy to do it. No sweat, no problem. You love to do such things. But quite often you're called on to do something that is not so pleasant. Unpleasant duty also is there. How to handle that situation? Talks about that. The next set of verses. Let us read verse 38. Sukha dukhe same kritva. Sukha dukhe same kritva. Labha labhau jaya jayo. Labha labhau jaya jayo. Tato yuddhaya yujyasva. Tato yuddhaya yujyasva. Nainam papamavapsyasi. Nainam papamavapsyasi. Sukha dukhe same krutva. Labha labhau jaya jayo. Tato yuddhaya yujyasva. Nainam papamavapsyasi. So in this verse, Bhagavan Sri Krishna concludes his first phase of teaching, and he introduces the next phase. This verse is a very important verse. You better remember this, even better memorize it. This is a transition verse, an introduction to the next topic, which is known as Karma Yoga, an important topic in Bhagavad Gita. It is talked about so extensively in Bhagavad Gita, but quite often people, if you ask them, what is the main theme of Bhagavad Gita? They will say Karma Yoga. Although the main theme is Jnana Yoga only, Jnanam is Brahma Vidya only, but to come to that jnanam, lot of work needs to be done prior to that, and that is Karma Yoga. So it is talked extensively. Jnana Yoga was discussed in these verses 12 to 25, and Bhagavan did discuss this philosophy elaborately only. But then he is going to enter into this new topic, which we can call religion. The earlier 12 to 25 we can call philosophy. In this section we can call religion. So you all know the entire Veda is divided into two portions. Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda. Karma, the rituals, etc., you can call the religion portion, and the Jnanam, the philosophy portion. Religion is a way of life, what you should do in your life, practice of it. And philosophy is the. So the philosophy was discussed. What is your true nature? Atma Tattvam, Jiva Tattvam, that was discussed. Now the religion part comes in. How to act in this world. Bhagwan will say the most important aspect in this is Samatvam. Samatvam Yoga Uchyate, he will say later. We will see that verse also. So if someone has to act in this world efficiently, the most important characteristic is learning to have samatvam, balance in mind, a balanced mind. In this verse, Bhagavan talks about the attitude with which Arjuna should fight this battle. Mind you, this is not only for Arjuna, it is applicable to all of us, all human beings. What should be the attitude when we act in this world? We have to live in this world. What should be the attitude as we go about living in this world? This attitude is presented in this verse, and it is called Samatvam. He will be emphasizing this value more and more throughout the Gita. Samatvam, as I said, means balance of mind. And that means not being carried away by any situation in life. Even in the worst crisis, the ability to be cool, calm, collected, poised, that is called samatvam. It's very important because the ability, your thinking power will work, will function only when the mind is samaha. When the mind is vishamaha, disturbed, the first thing to go is discrimination. Right thinking will go out of the window. Not only will decisions go wrong, still worse, the man loses the capacity to learn from every experience. Life is the university of adversity. And every adversity can teach us a lesson. Just like a knife can be sharpened only when rubbed against a rough surface. Tragedies in our life make us sharp. We can learn more from adverse circumstances than happy circumstances. To learn from such experiences, I should have a relatively calm mind. And Sri Krishna emphasizes here the capacity to maintain the emotional balance. This is the most important virtue that is required. EQ, emotional quotient, is as important, if not more important than IQ, intelligent quotient. If the EQ is not healthy, person will easily be disturbed, and such a person cannot perform well, even if he has a sharp intellect. So EQ is more important for human success than IQ. So Bhagavan says, I'm not interested in your IQ, more interested in your EQ. So this EQ, emotional quotient, in Gita is called Samatvam. Therefore, he says, Sukha dukkhe same kritva. Prepare yourself to build your EQ. Make your sukha and dukkha. Sukha, happy. Dukkha, sorrowful. So, sukha dukkha, happy and sorrowful experiences, same, to be the same to you. No one can permanently expect success. Nor is anyone a total failure. Nobody is always successful. 100% success is not possible. Success in life is your ability to face both success and failure in life. A successful person is one who knows how to face success and failure without being disturbed too much emotionally. As an active person doing your duty, learn to keep your mind in balance. Sukha dukkhe, in joy and sorrow. Then labha alabha, in gain or loss. Then jaya ajaya, in success and in failure. As I said, this is a very important verse. It is not teaching how to succeed at all times. He only says, Bhagavan says, how to face both success and failure. You should include all pairs of opposites, like honor, dishonor, birth, death, growth, decay, summer, winter, all of them. Same kritva. Learn to face them equally. Don't be carried away by them. Having prepared the mind by keeping your balance in all pairs of opposites, tataha yuddhaya yujjasva, then get ready to fight. In this context, to fight the war is the duty. This is a righteous war. Nainam prapam avapsasi. If you work in the world with this attitude, you will never have a spiritual fall. You will not be able to avoid material ups and downs. They will come and go. But if you have the proper attitude, spiritually, you will not decline. You will never have a downfall. You will only grow. Therefore, papam na avapsasi. You will not incur sin also. You will learn from your every experience. This verse, as I said, is very important, should be analyzed and understood properly. Whatever actions we do, the end product is joy or sorrow. The final result is experience of happiness or unhappiness, joy or sorrow. Of course, we do everything for joy only. But what we get in the end, we don't know. Maybe joy or sorrow, maybe nothing. The final outcome of joy or sorrow depends on what? If I get the object of desire, I'm happy. If I get what I wanted, I'm happy. And if I don't, I'm unhappy. You see that in all sports. The winning team members jumping up and down in joy. Just look at the sideline on the losing team, all gloom and doom. Bhagavan says here, you equalize them, the joy and sorrow, and then fight the war. Equalize the joy and sorrow and then fight the war. I'm not sure if you got the point. He's not asking us to treat or loss, victory or defeat, and the consequent joy or sorrow to be the same when you get it. He says you equalize them first and then act. Results come after the action is complete. Results are in the future. How can I equalize the result that come in the future first? It's a very important point. I've not yet performed the action, so the results have not come yet. Even before that, I'm asked to equalize the result. Keep the mind in equipoise. Like your cell phone during the class, keep it in the silent mode. Especially when it's a live session, in person. Keep the mind in equipoise mode and then you fight. How will I do that? Now think. We all become happy, sad, agitated, ecstatic when results come. The results are undesirable, we get very upset. At that time, people come and say, be calm, keep your cool. That's when you want to kill them. Do you know you cannot be balanced at that? The reason is even before we perform the actions, we already have strong likes and dislikes. We are so much attached to the results. I want this and this result only. I cannot stand any other result. Already have such strong likes and dislikes for the outcome. When I have such strong feelings before the action, will I be able to maintain equanimity of mind when the results come after the action is done? I've already made up my mind. If this result comes, I'll be happy. And if any other result comes, I'll be unhappy. A decision is already made. So that is why Bhagavan says, you equalize your mind before the results come. One cannot maintain the balance after the results come. The results are already there. So the practical suggestion is, don't have any likes or dislikes. Whenever you have to do something, tell yourself, this is my duty. This is kartavya karma. The job has to be done. This job must be done. Why am I even worried about the results? I have to do that. I have to do that. So I do it without likes or dislikes. If you go in with this attitude, when results come, you will be calm and collected. When you do something with this attitude, without likes and dislikes, where is the sin? All sins will be there when you have the attitude, I like this, I'm doing it for this result. Sometimes so much focus is on the result that makes you do wrong things also. Without insistence on the result, you will not do anything wrong. So that is why the Lord says, Nainam papam avapsyasi. You will not incur any sin. Continuing. येषा ते विहिता सांख्ये येषा ते विहिता सांख्ये बुद्धिर्मां शृणु बुद्धिर्योगे त्विमां शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि येषा ते विहिता सांख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे त्विमां शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि. This is another transition verse. Bhagavan is changing from one topic to another, and he points out here, hey Arjuna, until now I talked about Jnana Yoga. This was the central theme of the previous portion, especially from verse 12 to 25. Self-knowledge, discovery of the fact that I am the independent one, discovery of self-dependence or freedom from external dependence to be happy. This self-discovery is called Atma Jnana, self-knowledge. Here Bhagavan calls it Sankhyam. Yesha Sankhye Buddhi Abhihita. Here the word Sankhya means Atma. The word Sankhya means Upanishad. So Sankhya means the truth that is revealed in the Upanishad. That truth is myself, that is the Atma. Buddhihi means knowledge in this context. So Sankhya Buddhihi means Atma Jnana. Until now, O Arjuna, I have given you self-knowledge. From now on, I'll give you another knowledge. Yoge buddhihi tu imam shrunu. Hereafter, I am going to deal with yoga buddhi. He will also call it buddhi yoga. Or I am going to deal with karma yoga. So the transition is from jnana yoga to karma yoga. Why does he introduce karma yoga? Previously, he had said, jnana alone frees one from sorrow. That's the only remedy for the disease called sorrow. Without Atma Jnana, without self-knowledge, one cannot get out of grief. If Jnana is the means of liberation, and Bhagavan has given that Jnana, why should he talk about Karma Yoga at all? Is Karma Yoga another means of liberation? No, that cannot be. Because Sri Krishna has clearly said, Jnana alone is the means of liberation. There's no other alternative method. Then why should he come to Karma Yoga? The reason is that even though Jnana Yoga is the only means of liberation, Not all people are fit to enter Jnana Yoga. It surely requires a lot of preparations. Just as you take entrance exams for admission to certain schools and colleges. Similarly, one cannot enter Jnana Yoga without the necessary preparations. So Bhagwan will present Karma Yoga as a preparatory step. So the entire teaching is follow Karma Yoga, prepare your mind, and then enter Jnana Yoga and be liberated. Remember this. Jnana Yoga is impossible without Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is incomplete without Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is impossible without Karma Yoga, and Karma Yoga is incomplete. Remember that. There's a common misconception. There is a common misconception that in Kali Yuga, Jnana Yoga is very difficult. Jnana Yoga is difficult. While that is true, the conclusion from that is what is wrong. You should not say, since Jnana Yoga is difficult, try some other yoga. So Sri Krishna says, if Jnana Yoga is deemed difficult, don't try some other yoga, because that will not give you liberation. You just need to prepare yourself better and become fit for that Jnana Yoga. It's difficult right now, but take steps to make it easy. How is that done? That is accomplished, that is achieved by preparing your mind for it. The preparation is called Karma Yoga. Jnana Yoga is neither easy nor difficult. It all depends on whether you are adequately prepared or not. So Bhagwan is going to teach Karma Yoga to prepare our minds for Jnana Yoga. With that prepared mind, you will love Vedanta. You will find it to be the most relevant teaching in the world, the most enjoyable teaching and learning in the world. The word yoga is very important, a very interesting word, very popular word these days also. And people have many ideas about this word. They think it is asana, the postures, pranayama, breathing exercises, dhyana, meditation, and so on, so many. They are not wrong, but we should understand how all these meanings come. The word yoga comes from the root yuj, which means to join or to unite. Any means that unites the jiva with Paramatma is yoga. That is why karma can be yoga, bhakti can be yoga, jnana can be yoga. Every chapter in the Bhagavad Gita is called a yoga. We saw the first chapter was called what? Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Vishada, Shoka, Moha, delusion, dejection. How can Arjuna, Shoka, Moha be a yoga? It's so because it eventually leads him to be united with himself. So any means that unites you with your true self is yoga. So this is number one. Then number two, any means that prepares you for this union, this realization, that technique, that method, that upaya, that is also called yoga. That's why asana, pranayama, japa, puja, dhyana, all are called yoga. They're all preparations. So there is a preparation stage which is of the nature of the means, direct means of the nature of the goal. So the nature of goal and the nature of the means and the difference properly. If the union is complete, yoga is done. So Sri Krishna says, I spoke to you about Jnana Yoga in verses 12 through 25. And now, Imam Shrunu, listen to this Karma Yoga. After listening to verses 12 through 25, the Jnana Yoga portion, now you listen to Karma Yoga. What will happen then? Buddhya yuktaha. Once you learn this technique of Karma Yoga and you practice it, Karma bandham prahasyasi. You will easily destroy all your shackles born out of karma. Karma bandha. Bandha, bondage. Karma bandha. All the bondage that are born out of this karma, you will get rid of, you will destroy. You will be liberated here and now. It's not going to be some worlds hereafter, going somewhere. Liberation is freedom from all kinds of emotional problems, bondage, etc. Liberation is enjoying a wonderful mind. You will attain that liberation. You will enjoy such a liberated mind. When you perform karma as worship of God, then God's grace descends on you. You will get that knowledge as the prasada. And the knowledge releases you from all bondages of karma. What are all the bondage of karma? Generally, when we perform an action, a karma, it is prompted by our desires, our personal likes and dislikes. The action may not be guided by what is right and what is wrong. That's our main problem. It's guided by what our likes and dislikes are, what I like, what I don't like. Then what happens? When karmas are done, results come. The results are consistent with our desires, we are very happy. If not, unhappy. We perform action to enjoy the results, and the enjoyment of result prompts us to repeat those actions. This creates an impression and later get reinforced. They become deep-rooted vasanas and they bind us. That's why it is said, karmana badhyate jantuhu. Man gets bound by action. Therefore, it is said, what you have to do is to perform karmas not prompted by your likes and dislikes, but guided by what Shastra says, right? That's what you should do. What actions Shastras prohibit, you should not do. If you have any doubt, seek the advice of the learned people, noble people. Do not just act as you please. So this is the introduction to Karma Yoga. when you perform actions as Karma Yoga, existing vasanas are exhausted, no new vasanas are created, your mind gets purified, and that pure mind is fit for the knowledge of the self liberates you. And Sri Krishna is very good in doing publicity for Karma Yoga. He is going to talk about the glories of Karma Yoga. And here he says, Imam Shun, listen to this. And we will listen to more of this next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.